As the cost of living continues to rise, many families are struggling to put food on the table. Some in the Eastern Cape are taking action to improve their food security. They're now turning their gardens into small farms to defeat hunger. Now, this is something else that Ronald Masinda is looking into for us. And today, he's visiting one of these families, Xesi. He's joining us now live for an update. Good morning, Ronald. It's unfortunate that, this is the kind of situation that families need to find themselves in. But I suppose they'll always say, a problem will always essentially provide you with an opportunity to find a solution. And a solution, it seems, the people of Xesi have found.
Good morning, Morena. Well, that is the harsh reality that many South Africans are facing. In fact, according to stats, about half of South Africa's population are living below the poverty line, and crippling unemployment has also exacerbated the problems faced by many South Africans. People relying on social grants, for example, as a means for survival. And I mean, many here in the Eastern Cape especially, they are also relying on social grants, given that a lot of people are struggling to find jobs. But the story that today we are focusing on is just how government plans on helping those who want to venture into farming. I mean, the Eastern Cape is a rural province, and many people are turning their own yards into a small-scale farming. Now, the one individual that we spoke to just before we coming to you live, just before we came live now, is a man who lost his job back in 2021. He then decided that as a means for trying to survive, he started poultry farming. And today, Morena, his business has grown quite substantially. He goes on to sell his chickens in areas such as Qonce, as well as Mdantsane, and is willing to grow his clientele. But what he wants to know and get assistance from is how government will plan to educate those, because he says he went into this business without the knowledge and the resources to start such a business. So that is what we exactly are trying to do, find out more information from government. How will they assist people like Phumlani Saki to start and grow their own farming? This is what Phumlani Saki had to say earlier when he visited him at his home.
I haven't been trained formally, but I have decided to take it upon myself to do some research and download some information from internet. So I've been equipping myself. I was hoping that institutions such as AgriSeta will be places where I could get training, and also government, Department of Agriculture. I have been hoping that I will get some funding. I did go to Department of Agriculture to inquire as to whether they do have any form of financial assistance or any form of assistance. But I was informed that I should wait until August this year. It's only then that they dish out application forms.
Ronald, just quickly, do we know if there are any kinds of initiatives? I mean, Mr. Saki there talking about how he was hoping that government or even the likes of AgriSeta would, come forth and provide initiatives or programs to help somebody like him who clearly has the will and eagerness to want to empower himself and equip himself. Do we know if there are such programs that are in place that maybe, he's just not knowledgeable about?
Morena, there are certainly a lot of programs centered around equipping people with the necessary skills on how to farm. One such is the one that we will be visiting very shortly, where we will be speaking to government about this particular initiative. But some of the challenges, Morena, and this is just based on people who don't have access to information. A lot of people don't have access to internet, for example, and there's a lot of information there with regards to how people can upskill themselves. But what Mr. Saki alluded to is just exactly that, not having the right sort of information to venture or grow his business. So that is what we are essentially here to find out. How can people in that position find themselves, to know, have the knowledge of starting and keeping their businesses sustainable, not just going into business, but to ensure that they have enough food security of their own.
All right, Ronald, we'll leave it there with you. Thank you very much. Of course, we'll definitely be looking out for the conversation you're going to be having with the relevant stakeholders about those programs that are in place so that the likes of Mr. Saiki and others like him can definitely equip themselves and we can address this matter of the food insecurity in South Africa.